Hi, Manish Mehta here alongside Star Ledger Jets beat reporter Dave Hutchinson in the Atlantic Health Jets training facility in Florham Park, previewing Week 12. The first place Jets at 7-3 traveling to Nashville to face the only undefeated team in the NFL, the 10-0 Tennessee Titans. Hutch, the Jets coming off an emotional overtime victory in New England on Thursday night. They're feeling good. I know Eric Mangini is feeling good. He gave his team 5 days off.
Yeah, I tell you, this was the kinder, gentler Eric Mangini, and, the guys definitely deserved it. I mean, they went up to New England, they played a heck of a game, and, we were just talking to Brandon Moore. He said he feels refreshed. He's like ready to start, feels like he's starting the season again. So I think on a whole lot of different levels, this was a really smart move by Eric Mangini.
When you look at this Tennessee Titans offense, you think of two guys, Chris Johnson, Lendell White, a two-headed running attack. Chris Johnson second in the AFC behind Thomas Jones in rushing. Lendell White, the bruiser, tied for the NFL lead with 11 touchdowns. We know about this Jet run defense, fourth in the league, giving up about 81 yards a game. How do they go about stopping two running backs with two very different styles?
Yeah, I tell you, that's going to really be a challenge here. And these guys in the red zone, they have a 96.8% efficiency in 32 trips to the into the red zone. They've scored 21 touchdowns and 10 field goals. And between White has 11 touchdowns and Brown has 5. So, this is going to be quite a challenge for these guys, not to mention Kerry Collins, because what's happening now is that a lot of teams are stacking the box, putting 7 and 8 guys in the box to stop the run, and that has put the onus on Kerry Collins, and at least for the past couple of weeks, he's answered the bell.
Right, and it's never too early to talk about the MVP in the league, and Kurt Warner's name in Arizona comes up, Brandon Jacobs maybe, even Peyton Manning now, but believe it or not, Kerry Collins is in that mix, and you touched on the fact that he hasn't been asked to carry the load except for these last couple games. His stats aren't going to wow you, just 8 touchdowns, but 5 of those 8 coming in the last 2 weeks, and last week he single-handedly rallied them to victory.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns in the second half, and they were, vintage Collins, a 56-yarder and a 38-yarder to Gage, and he also hit Gage for a 47-yarder. Yesterday I was talking to Titans offensive coordinator Mike Heimendinger, and he said Kerry Kerry is still Kerry,
right.
And he said there's a misconception that he's just a game manager. He said Kerry is winning some games for us, and a case in point would be last week against the Jaguars.
Right. Absolutely. On the other end of the ball, Brett Favre is playing his best football as a Jet. No interceptions in the last 2 games. We know about that overtime drive that set up the game-winning field goal, but they're going up against their toughest test in this Titan defense, allowing a league-low 13 points a game. They are lights out from the defensive line to the linebacking core to the secondary. Just an incredible challenge for this Jet offense. How are they going to be able to score some points against them, Hutch?
Well, I tell you, Manish, you hit the nail on the head. They are solid from top to bottom. I mean, you got Albert Haynesworth wreaking havoc in the middle of the defensive line. You got Keith Bullock, a big-time linebacker. And then their secondary, both of their safeties have 4 interceptions each. These guys have 28 sacks. I mean, they are just, they are going to be quite a challenge for the Jets. And, I think this is really going to let the Jets know exactly where they stand in the AFC and their quest to get to the Super Bowl.
Right, and I think those numbers are really scary. You talked about the sacks. They're also second in the league with 15 interceptions, and they can hit you from all different angles. I just want to touch on one key matchup, a matchup that you pointed out in today's Star Ledger. Alan Faneca against Albert Haynesworth. It's star against star, mano on mano. Tell us a little bit about what that's going to look like on Sunday.
Yeah, interesting. I was talking to Alan about it today, and I mentioned Haynesworth, and he just lit up, So he's really, really looking forward to it, because I was kind of surprised at his reaction. He's like, oh, yeah, this is great, So he said that he had played him a couple of times before, but he didn't remember. So it was a few years back. But, he's real excited about this challenge. But I'm sure it's not going to be him alone. I'm sure Mango, they're going to be doing some double team stuff, probably some trap blocks too with Brandon Moore, but it should be quite a matchup.
Right, in that run game, that offensive line with Faneca, Mangold, and company has really opened up some holes for Thomas Jones these last few weeks as well. All right, Hutch, look into your crystal ball. Can the Jets do it 2 weeks in a row? A huge win against the Patriots. Will they be the first team to knock off the Titans?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm not betting my mortgage. Let's put that out there. But I think these guys have a real shot. I mean, in past years when the Jets have gone into games like this, they had absolutely no shot. But, you know, I think they really have a shot here. And, I mean, you know, if you push me, I got to go with the Titans. They're 10-0. They're at home. They're on a roll. But I think the Jets have a real shot.
But I'm going to disagree. I think the Jets are on a roll. I know the Titans are 10-0. They've showed some cracks in the armor. If you make Kerry Collins beat you, I think that's a good thing for the Jets. I don't believe Tennessee has the playmakers at the wide receiver position to make a difference if it comes down to it. So I'm going with a white knuckler, 16-13 Jets. I'm on the Jets bandwagon, 8-3 Jets, and we will be talking about a viable Super Bowl contender come Monday morning.
Wow.
For Dave Hutchinson,
wow.
I'm Manish Mehta. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the game.